What's up everyone, Dane the Mortgage Guy here, and before we jump into this video, if you that's watching this are a real estate agent in the state of Washington and you are looking for a solid lending partner who takes no bull and gets the job done, alright, just like the title said, these are 3 things that you should take into consideration when developing your personal brand as a real estate agent or as a mortgage loan officer. Now, as always, these are my opinions and this is what has worked for me, and hopefully they work for you. They've worked for a lot of other people, so I want to be able to pass this information along to you. So let's start with number 1. Google yourself. How? Well, type in your first name and last name. Type in your first name and last name in the company that you work for. First name and last name and the city that you live in. Come up with any other variation that somebody could potentially Google you and look for your information and see what shows up in search results. Why is this important? Well, the internet's been around for a really long time, and a lot of us weren't very good at not divulging our dirty laundry on the internet, on MySpace or Facebook or Apartment 107, if you guys remember which one that is. Does anybody remember Asian Avenue? Like, that was literally 20 years ago. God, I'm old. Anyway, do you have a criminal record? Google yourself. Maybe that's gonna pop up. Did you go to a frat party 8 years ago and somebody was taking pictures of you doing a keg stand while butt naked and it somehow ended up on the internet? Make sure you try and look for stuff like that because you don't want to put anything out there that you don't want your parents to see. Now, once you Google yourself, you're gonna have a good idea of what all of your potential clients are going to see and even your current clients when they look you up on the internet. Now, if there's something that you find that you don't like, well, most likely you have the ability to get it taken down. It's probably just you having to log into an old MySpace account or an old Twitter account and just deleting stuff. Yes, it is forever on the internet, but if it's not going to show up in the search results for when somebody looks up your name, by all means, try and get rid of it because it really does help you in the long run. Fun fact, 75% of people actually do not go past the very first page of search results. So what does that mean for you? Make sure that everything that is on the first page is information that you want your potential clients to see. If you want to learn more about this and Googling yourself and basic search engine optimization, or also known as SEO, I highly recommend watching a video on SEO for beginners on YouTube. I don't know which one, there's a ton out there, so Google it. Number 2, be authentic. Yes, this is the most cliche piece of advice that I will ever give to anybody, but we couldn't get it at a better time in our lives. And why is that? That's a great question. Now, think of your friends list, your sphere of influence, the people that you know in your life. There is most likely at least one friend in your life that tries really hard to make themselves look a hell of a lot better than they really are. There's gonna be that guy that just got into real estate. He's 22 years old and he posts a picture of himself next to a $500,000 Lamborghini. I'm gonna call bull on that because most likely he hasn't made enough money to be able to afford that, and if he did, awesome, good for him, congratulations, I'm proud of you, my friend. Now, being authentic is really subject to interpretation. You can determine what being authentic is, and whatever it is to you, I highly recommend just rolling with it. Run with it, take it, make it your own. But if you, who's trying to be authentic, post a picture of, let's say, you standing next to said Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever, and you get a client from it, and then want to go look at a $3 million house, next thing you know, you're rolling up to a $3 million house in your Camry, they may or may not lose a little bit of trust in you. Now, you're not gonna find what being authentic is overnight, and that's okay. Do not beat yourself up from it, but allow yourself to truly love who you are on the inside and truly dig deep to figure out what it is that you want in life and what you stand for in life. If you take a look inside yourself and you don't really like the person that you see, well, change that. And number 3, set yourself apart. Now, how do you set yourself apart? Well, let's think about it. Everyone out there, especially that goes into real estate or mortgages or any sales role, to be honest, they're all gonna say, I'm gonna work real hard and I'm gonna do more than any other agent out there and I'm gonna bend over backwards. We can all do that. Everybody does it. We're all good workers, we're all strong workers, and we're gonna do all of those things for our clients regardless. And if you weren't planning on doing that, then this probably isn't really the business that you should be in. So let's say that you're really into motorcycles, right? You have a ton of motorcycles, you've been riding for a long time, you've got a solid group of friends from the motorcycle community. Well, that's a great place to brand yourself and gain more attention, more exposure, more potential clientele because you have a common interest with that. So, fun story time. Back when I was a recruiter, probably 8 or 9 years ago, I was on LinkedIn and I was looking for candidates for a specific role that I was working on. Well, I was just hitting connect to everybody that I thought would be a good fit. Well, I came across a profile of a guy who was wearing a motorcycle jacket. It was an Alpinestars jacket, and I was like, that's a cool jacket. I think I own the same jacket. So I added him. I had no idea what he did, but I added him because he had a motorcycle jacket on in his profile picture. Come to find out, he was literally the best candidate that I could have ever put forward for that specific role. And the only reason we started talking is because we had a mutual interest in motorcycles. So how do you set yourself apart? Well, let's take the motorcycle situation, for example, and let's say you're out for a ride and you're dropping documents off to a client or you're meeting a client up for signing or whatever. Be on your motorcycle. Post a shot of your motorcycle with a really awesome background and say, you know, dropping documents off for my clients to buy their new house, whatever it is that you come up with. But doing that is going to give somebody reason to want to connect with you. It's going to give them reason to want to work with you because you already share a common thing. Most likely they're not going to call you because you were walking down the street holding a sign that said, hey, call me if you want to buy a house. But if they saw you on a motorcycle, they might call you because they like motorcycles too. Now, once you get that client, it allows you to grow and it allows you to get more people. And as long as you ask for the referrals and do a good job, obviously, then hopefully those deals just start rolling in at some point. For me, my end goal is that whenever somebody within my sphere of influence thinks of buying a house or refinancing their current house or a vacation house or whatever, they think of me, and they think of me because we have some sort of common interest or common ground with each other. And that, or I've already been referred to them by somebody. I've essentially been vetted by one of their friends and family, and that's gonna go a hell of a lot further than just randomly calling someone to be like, hey, you wanna refinance your house? This is Joe Schmo, never met you. You should totally use me to refinance your house. It's not gonna work. It's 2020, get with the times. Hopefully these 3 tips were beneficial to you and allow you to create your personal brand and take your personal brand to a whole new level. Because while yes, it may be a lot of work at times and sometimes you may not see the fruits of your labor immediately, I promise you it does pay off. The more you put into it, the more you're gonna get out of it, and that's as cliche as it's gonna get. You are going to be the reason as to why you either fail or succeed in this business, in this industry. As always, thank you so much for watching these videos, and I'll see you next week in the next one. Cheers, everyone.